Why leave what's familiar when it's working out pretty well? Think about this question while I'll tell my story. I had been living a nice life, getting good grades, hanging out with my friends, keeping busy with extracurriculars, having fun with my mom watching movies every night. This was the time when I moved to Czech Republic. I was living a nice life, I was hanging out with my classmates, I've learned the language, I got compliments for speaking it well. I was recognized as a dancer and as a musician. I would say, that sounds like a good life, doesn't it? Yes, and that's what I thought on May 8th, 2025. I was hanging out with my classmates with whom I was going to graduate, but I knew something was not right if I stayed on this path. Something was not right if I didn't go for bigger. So here's the question again. Why leave what's familiar when it's working out pretty well? Why do people stay in their comfort zone? What improvements do we get when we experience something new? Think about this. Our brain has one goal, to keep us alive, and every time there's any stressor around us, our brain detects it and sends it a message. Be careful, that might hurt us. And that works not only for dangerous things, such as skydiving or walking alone at night, but also for one feeling that we are scared of, embarrassment. The feeling of being an odd one. So every time that we want to experience something new, our brain says a thought. What if I embarrass myself? What if no one likes me? What if I mess up? Those thoughts are normal, and we usually experience them in our daily life. But they have to double, because most of the time, those thoughts bring us down to point zero with only disbelief in ourselves. Therefore, we stay in a comfort zone. We stay in the world that we know for 100%. We created this world. But it has no achievement. It's the same as I would call sitting in the same chair all day. Eventually, you get tired. And there's a thing that you might do to get out of it. Growth mindset. You put your goals ahead of you. You trust yourself, and you do your best with putting yourself out there. Even though sometimes you might face obstacles, they're always manageable and not as scary as you might think. For example, when I started my new path here in America, when I decided to go for something bigger, for more opportunities, I was scared. I felt all the anxiety again and again. What if I won't fit in? What if I won't succeed? This experience made me go out of my comfort zone. I'm going to be honest with you, it still does, every day. But this is what life is for, to experience all the things that we want to make us happy and successful. All the things that are out there for us to take and to achieve. Even though sometimes they will not go well. And any project that you want to make real, any competition that you're doubting whether to apply to, any speech that you want to perform. Here's a story. When I was a kid, I used to join random extracurriculars, and I would not even notify my parents about them. But one day, I'll join music school, which I still happily attend, and I'm happy that I raised my hand in a class when no one else did. And it's well known that as kids, we usually do stuff that some people may find hard later in their lives. Even the easiest things, just making friends. And when we grow up, things are getting serious. Some things actually matter. But growing up doesn't mean losing the ability, going for it. It means the need to build this ability up. Sometimes, by those meaningful and scary important things, we get scared because what if we don't achieve this important thing that is important for our future. But it doesn't mean locking yourself and keeping it all basic and planned. Because despite the outcome of going for it, you have the experience. And that's exactly what is important. Experience is what we have learned. Experience is what we can apply to anything. I believe that it is extremely important for teenagers and young adults to experience as much as they can. Because they can get a feeling of life, of what they can achieve. And while everything is working out, it can also slowly push you away from who you're truly becoming. Just imagine for a minute. You've broken out of your comfort zone. You got the courage in yourself and you went to perform in front of the whole school. You are stressed out. It's your first time doing such thing, but you actually have what it takes and you do pretty well. You step off the stage. What is the feeling that you feel? Happiness. Happiness that you went for it. Happiness that you got the courage in yourself to do such things. And now you know that they're not as scary anymore. You have motivation to go for them, to do more and more again and again. It's about the first step. It's always about the first step because the second one is going to be easier. You have the experience, you know what it takes, and you're going to do much better next time. Living familiar is not about leaving all behind and forgetting about it. It's about expanding the world that you have already created. Here's a question you might ask yourself to keep track if you are on the right path. Are you doing something that you'll be proud of in 1 year or 5 years? Is there any steps that you are taking that will make you achieve the goal? That will help you become better? Living familiar was the time when I stopped asking myself if it was safe and asking what is possible. And that's a choice each of us can make. I believe that each of us is a unique person, and when we go out of our zone, we experience new things, we meet new people, we hear the story they have to tell. We tell our story, and our world gets bigger. Thank you.